What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and wow, we actually got it. So I wanted the video, the PlayStation video I did earlier today, to go up yesterday, so there could be more of a gap in between. I did think it was a possibility that it could be announced today, and here we are. So I want to talk about, obviously, the PlayStation Showcase. I think it's going to be phenomenal. I cannot wait. I'm very, very excited for it. We'll have videos over the next week, kind of talking about it, certain predictions. I will co-stream it, so you guys can watch it with me, but we'll talk about all that stuff later. We also have Andy Robinson, who's a pretty good-ish insider. I don't think he's like the top elite tier, but he's definitely not, in kind of like the middle class. He's definitely higher up there. And this quote and this tweet kind of caught my eye, caught people's eye, specifically even on Reddit. He said, "I've been told there are some super announcements in this." Super announcements. Now, what does that mean? Nobody really knows. I mean, people were asking him, they were like, does God of War, like, because we already know it exists, does a trailer count as a super announcement? I'll be honest, I gut feeling, like, when I hear that, I don't think God of War. I don't think, when I see super announcement, I don't think a game that we've already seen or we already know exists. So, I guess maybe even like The Last of Us multiplayer would probably count as a super announcement, but I'm thinking like Sly, I'm thinking like brand new game or like a Metal Gear, or I know some people are going with like the Bloodborne remaster or whatever for PS5, like those kind of things. That's what I would see as like a big thing. I mean, look, we literally talked about a few hours ago, right? This is literally what we saw last June and last September. Those are, it's, I've seen people even online, don't set the bar low here. Really, I'm not saying like expect everything in the world so you can just be crushed and disappointed, but I mean, I think you need to go in hoping and expecting Sony to really do a good job. And if they don't, that's their problem, right? That's on them. And that's just my honest opinion. If you don't agree, it's okay. But you look at the June event last year, they crushed it. I think they did a phenomenal job. Obviously ending it with Horizon, but you had Demon Souls, you had Miles, you had the PS5, you had a lot of stuff that happened in that show. And then the September one, in some ways, I would say was even better with God of War's teaser and Hogwarts Legacy, along with several other things for sure. But those were the two things that stand out, at least in my mind. So that's kind of now they say, I like it how they almost word it exactly like Gamescom, where it's like it's going to be focusing on games coming to PlayStation like the end of this year and beyond, which is exactly what Gamescom said, just not, exclusive to PlayStation. But, they also continued to say exclusives. They did say big and small. So I know there were people, when I tweeted this out earlier, there were people saying, 40 minutes long, it's a 40-minute show. They don't want them to focus on any indie stuff because, like, it's game time. I would say I agree with that in some senses, but I don't like saying it because I do think it's kind of like a slight on smaller games. It depends on what you think is a small game. Like, is Kena Bridge of Spirits a small game? Because I think that was announced at the June one or somewhere around there. So, like, Kena, I adore. I cannot wait for it to come out. It comes out like like a week and a half after this PlayStation show. Death Stranding Director's Cut comes out, I believe, 2 weeks and a day after this show. So, like, do you consider I get it, and trust me, like, do I need a Death Stranding trailer at this show to take up 2 to 3 minutes when you could show something else? No, but does that mean that it won't be there? I think it probably will be there. You know what I mean? So that's something just to kind of keep in mind. I do think generally, though, when they say big and small, I would almost consider Kena on the smaller end. So, like, but that's honestly a good thing. You know what I mean? Like, if you're setting a floor for like what you expect to see of these games, and Kena is your floor, and then you just go, there's the ceiling, which is higher. That's awesome. That's because you have. Honestly, guys, I mean, you have the potential for a Spider-Man 2 tease. I don't think I would put that at the low end of possibility. I would also say that if we did get a Spider-Man tease, it would be literally just like the name, like the logo. I don't think we would really get next to anything of it, because I do think it maybe comes out, next fall, but yet again, it could easily be pushed from there, so let's not get our hopes too high. GTA, probably, a GTA 5 thing, GTA Trilogy, the remaster trilogy, I would kind of expect to be there. So honestly, they have the potential to murder it because, literally what I was just saying, right? You have God of War for sure. Horizon's possible. I don't really think you need, much like I said earlier, right? I don't think you will show Horizon again. I'm not saying you'll never see Horizon until February, but I don't know if you need to show it right now, especially with the delay. But maybe you do. Maybe you actually want to show it to kind of offset the delay, the disappointment in some people. But you got Horizon, you got God of War, you got Kena, you got Death Stranding. Now you have to throw in, do you do a Final Fantasy? Do you do a Forspoken? Do you do a Pragmata? Something like that. If you have the Metal Gear, if you have the Bloodborne, if you have a Sly, I mean, there's so many things and then you go third party. Do you do Hogwarts Legacy? I know there'll be people asking me that, right? Do you do Hogwarts? Do you do GTA? Those are some big ones. Do you do some surprise, random third party things that we're not really thinking of? So those are it's going to be awesome. I mean, I cannot wait. This is probably where people are going to call me like a Sony fanboy, which is hilarious because I've said a lot of negative stuff against Sony. But see, here's the opposite of it, right? I can be critical, but I can also be excited for things, which also will blow people's mind. Think I hate everything. But no, it's going to be a great event. I honestly think on when it happens, the worst that could possibly happen is it's like decent and we still get like several big things. But I can't imagine it. Like, will it disappoint people? I'm sure, because, if you are expecting this or that and they don't show it, you may be disappointed. But I think as a grand show, the odds of it failing are not very high. I think that because they can show so much, even if they show half of the things that I just said, that's still like a killer show. Is it as good as the best shows we've ever seen from like Microsoft, from Sony, from E3, from stuff like that? Like Gamescom, I thought was an amazing show. I really, except for the last 30 minutes, Gamescom crushed it, in my opinion. I think this will easily beat it, but like if Gamescom is the floor, or, if Microsoft's E3, that was an amazing show. If they can match that, fine. You know what I mean? So again, I'll be co-streaming it. We'll be talking about it. I'll have individual videos probably on a couple things, probably Sly, Spider-Man, Hogwarts. We'll talk about some individual predictions, and then we'll do some group videos. So that'll be happening over the next week, and then I will be co-streaming it that Thursday, videos after, all that good stuff. The day before Life is Strange, so that kind of sucks for Life is Strange and for my excitement of Life is Strange, but it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when I do all of these different kinds of videos that I do. If you guys want to follow me over on Twitter, or subscribe to my second channel, or support us on Patreon or YouTube memberships, the links for all of them are in the description below. Thank you all for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope to see you all on the next video.